figuring things out.
Because we can edit all this.
Yeah, you can cut all that stuff out at any time.
There's that Paddle and Fin, I know they talk about that. I can't remember what the name of that is. They talk about it in their intro. They said they use this program to edit all their stuff and post it, and then it'll post it to podcast. Apparently we gotta watch doing that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. The table's a little shaky. It puts it on podcasts, Apple something, puts it on YouTube, it puts it on like all their platforms that they want to do.
We'll figure out what that is, and then maybe just do some of that instead of we got to figure out the audio for that and everything else. And I wonder what this is going to sound like.
Right, because I don't listen to a podcast if I can't hear something.
Right.
If I can't hear the other person, all right, it might be the most interesting thing in the world, but I'm not going to listen.
Yeah. But that's like the Unashamed podcast. Every now and again, you can't hear one of them like real well, and you're like, what? What'd you say? And you want to be able to hear it because it's like they're telling stories because it's the Robinsons, so Phil's telling some story from back in the day where he was a friggin' outlaw, just doing everything.
Running moonshine.
Yeah, right. And that Terry Bradshaw talks about what he was doing and stuff, why he was on the football team and all this other stuff, running from the conservation officers and everything else. And overshooting limits of ducks and hiding them and trying to hide them and shooting deer out of season and having it in his house at his like a place that he lives on campus with Kay there and has it hung in the house cleaning it. And it's like, whoa!
Have a trough underneath it to catch
right.
blood.
Yeah, he just had a big bucket underneath it. It's like, holy smokes. Crazy. No, never wore socks.
Never wore socks?
Yeah, he didn't wear socks.
Why?
Heck, half of them didn't wear clothes until they went to school. Until their first year of school.
If you don't wear underwear, it's commando. What is it if you don't wear socks?
Terrible. Terrible. Commando. Oh, man.
That's just raunchy. Maybe that's the ticket. Maybe we're all just not doing it right. Whipping into the tackle. I mean, really, that wouldn't be bad to kind of talk about we are central Indiana, so it's temperature today about 37 degrees.
It's not warm, that's for sure.
We went out last weekend to Lake Summit. Had no luck at all, but I bought a new kayak. He's in my old one. A buddy of ours got a kayak for the first time. We're all doing this this is all our
first year. We're going to try to do the whole tournament scene. We're going to do Summit and
White River.
And White River for sure. And then who knows, we might go hit another one somewhere or something just because we can and we want to go there and go fish or something.
I'd like to hit up that Monroe one. I've never even been to Monroe.
Oh, really?
I mean, I have when I was a kid, but
I've only been on it like twice.
I couldn't even tell you what it looks like.
Looks about like that one with the water and the shore with the trees on it.
Yeah.
About like that.
A couple boats on there.
Yeah.
The typical. But so we're definitely in the winter swing of fishing, which I know nothing about.
Nope. I've never done the whole winter fishing. I've done like, hey, you want to go fishing today? And it's 30 degrees outside. Oh, sure. One of the biggest fish I caught was actually on a rattle trap, and it looked about like this, except for it was a red man.
Instead of a repellent.
Yeah, a red man instead of a repellent. And I was just cranking it slow in a retention pond back in like 7th grade. So, like 14 years ago. 15 years ago. Actually, it'd be 15 years ago. This is my 10 years. Graduated 10 years ago today. Like this year, doesn't it? It's crazy.
There's nothing to show for it.
You ain't right. 2 kids and a hobby. A couple of them. Between hunting and fishing, I don't do much else anymore.
Oh, I got my freaking mask still on from work.
How did you? What'd you do? You tear it off and then tie it at the back?
Let me do a life hack here, guys. When you have to wear your mask all day and you don't want to be behind your ears, just rip one side of it off and then put it around your neck.
I was like, what the?
And then it's not like a mask, it's just like
It's
coverage. It just hangs. You don't have to like have it tight to your face.
At least you won't suffocate that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure out the whole what's gonna bite. Like, what do we bite on? And I mean, obviously, you hit YouTube. You go to YouTube and you start looking at these guys and you're like, this is it. And then you're like, well, I'm in a kayak. I can't go 10 miles in a day and not kill yourself.
That is the major downside of a kayak. It's just, it's downside and it's fun at the same time.
Yeah. Because
you really have to, on a boat, I feel like you don't have to break down individual sections of the lake as much as you have to do on a kayak, because you don't have that versatility to, hey, this ain't working. Let's go, all the way across the other side of the lake and let's go fish by the dam.
Right.
You don't have that luxury in a kayak. You literally, you paddle to your spot and you're really kind of in that vicinity the whole day.
Yeah.
Especially during the tournament. I mean, you're on a time crunch.
Yeah.
And you're not going to waste your time paddling.
Yeah.
Or pedaling or trolling motor if you're able to use it. I mean.
Yeah. Especially, tournament. I mean, pre-fishing's a little easier because you can use a trolling motor and stuff like that. You don't have to have, you can use it, so you don't have to just paddle around or whatever. So.
Definitely kayak pre-fishing has to be huge. And if you have a boat to do your pre-fishing for the kayak tournaments,
I do.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna try. We're gonna try.
I mean, just the only thing that sucks is being on a boat.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody else's boat,
that's the best part. Somebody else is paying for all that stuff. What's on this one? You got creature baits in this one, don't you?
Yeah.
Creatures
So
and trailers.
I got my stickos and my Ned rigs. And I think I had my
there's some
frogs
in there. Plastic frogs.
Which I don't know really what to do with my frogs.
I like its color. That's real close to that color that.
What's that?
It's like a. Oh, bloody bug.
So we've come to the conclusion that I am extremely set up for the springtime on accident.
Yeah, he is ready.
I don't know why. Apparently, I'm drawn to the reds and natural colors. So
yeah, that natural bite though, you can get it all year long too. That's kind of the nice part about it. Yeah.
The blues and purples, I've yet to find a place for.
Really?
The only time I
catch most of my fish on.
Only time I threw this blue. I'll pull it out here. This blue right here is a June bug, but they're big river bugs. And I was on a tournament, and I don't know, I was just going through one of them streaks that literally every time you throw your jig in the water, because I throw a lot of football jigs and flipping jigs. That's my favorite type of fishing. And I just went on a streak that literally every time I threw in the water, I lost one. It was like, what is going on? It got hung up or it just broke. And I don't know if it was my line or my knot.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. But I lost like almost all my jigs, which I don't really have that much tackle. Like you're looking at my tackle right now. I'm pretty kind of new to the whole bass fishing, really getting into it.
Yeah, breaking it down and kind of really like, hey, what's this? What's that?
Instead of throwing just spinner baits and
rooster tails. Rooster tails are a big thing.
I never threw the rooster tail.
I see my cousin does. Derek does. He throws them all the time. That's like one of his favorite things to throw. Those, and then I taught him how to throw a wacky worm set up. I was like, here, just do this, and he's like, well, what do you do? And I said, you just go yank on it a little bit and give it a little action. He goes, oh, okay. Dude caught a 4.5, 5 pound, and then he caught a 4.5, and then he caught almost a 5 pound bass back to back. Heck, that was
right there by your pump. Right?
Yeah, that was right. It was right by my house, but it was cold.
Residential
retention
pump.
But it was probably about like it is. It was probably 40s, low 40s. Still cold coming out of winter because it was right after we moved into the new house. So that was Yeah, that would have been around March. We moved into the house, so it was still cold. So you're having that spring bite / late winter bite.
See, I struggle so much with I can throw a Texas rig, but I don't like to.
That's my go-to.
But
go-to.
I don't know. I just like with the jig. You throw a 3/4 ounce jig out there. You feel everything. Like you start pulling up, and you're just working a bank side.
Yeah.
And then you feel that log, and you're like, oh, there it is. And then I just slowly pull it up, and then right when it's about to come to the bottom, I just pop it off the top of that log. And that's where 95% of my bites are, is just using a very heavy football jig. Which I found the flipping jigs aren't as well. You don't really feel it as much because it doesn't
hug that bottom.
Right, and it isn't football head. It literally looks like a football.
Yeah.
And you're just dragging it across the bottom. I feel like the flipping jig, you just don't get that because it's made to punch through.
Yeah.
Punch through cover, punch through weeds, flip under the docks. I mean, it's literally what the name is.
Yeah.
But that's where I get a lot of my bites. It's just bouncing it off the top of the obstructions. But you can feel everything with a 3/4 ounce.
See, I can't. I've never caught a fish on a jig. I have, 25, 30 jigs. I have swimming jigs. I got
one on the swim jig.
Never caught. I can't catch any. I got chatterbaits. I can't. No, not chatterbaits. What are those called? Is it chatterbait? Chatterbait. I was thinking top water.
Buzzbait.
Buzzbait. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, chatterbait. I can't catch one on chatterbait. Nothing. Can't do it. I don't know. I can't fish jigs. I guess. I can. Texas rig or wacky worm. I'll catch fish. I can catch fish on that.
I just don't think I have the patience for it because there's no feeling in it. You're just oh, there's fish.
Yeah.
It's not like.
But Texas rig, I'll do the same thing you do though. I'll take it and I'll get it to something and then I'll just gently pull it back until it pops over it. So, and then when we went out to Summit, I switched my weight from I was pretty light. I was maybe a quarter to, I don't know, 3/8 or something ounce weight, on my Texas rig, and I put a half on there, dy 3/8, and you can feel, and it's just like you said, you can really feel the bottom with that.
Now, do you pin your weight?
Usually, yeah.
How far up?
Oh, I'll pin mine. I usually pin mine all the way down.
Oh, so it's not moving at all.
Not usually, no.
Slide at all.
Not usually, no. Now, not always, but
So, what situation would you not? Just because you want to, or is there certain situations?
Well, I think I've never really had a situation where I've done it because I usually pitch cover. Down logs and stuff like that's usually where I'm pitching. I don't usually pitch on flat because I've never had a fish finder, so I've never really been able to be like, oh yeah, here you go. That's a game changer. Never really used a fish finder, and on that kayak, he has a $100 fish finder on his old one that I'm using, and it's like, okay.
I got the
this makes sense.
Garmin Striker 4.
Yeah,
which is actually a really nice.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
color
for $109, that's without the battery. But $109, you're really getting everything you would need for a river. I mean,
even big lakes though.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go spend, $300-$400 on his new kayak, he's got a Lowrance Hook 2 7-inch screen.
I don't even know how to use it.
Yeah, side scan and stuff like that. And it's like, if you don't want to spend that money, you go buy a $100 one because you're not going to go spend the money.
Yeah, really depth, seeing your drop offs.
Yeah.
Water temperature, which I'd love to learn some more about water temperature and really how they sit in the, if they're hugging the bottom, going mid,
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with feeding, and it's just it's really random, and I the way I understand it is just kind of random, and it's like, hey, we're feeding, so this is where we are because this is where bait fish are.
I'm gonna bring in my thing. When I first started fishing, now I've fished my whole life, but when I first started fishing, actively and trying to bass fish, and I was trying to figure it out, and he was really my main resource of really trying. I didn't even know what a fast action pole was, what a medium heavy. I had a bait caster, but it was just a little combo one from Walmart. Like, I knew nothing really, and I started looking into it and listening to podcasts and watching YouTube videos. And then we've always hunted.
Yeah.
I have always hunted my whole life. And I don't know why, but one day I just woke up and I was like, I'm literally hunting the fish.
Yeah.
Like, I have to think about it as hunting fish.
Like, where are they going to be?
Yes.
It's no
getting in
no
their
different
habitat. Getting in their habitat. Finding their bedding areas, just like you would for deer. Finding where they're feeding and how they're traveling to get to those food sources. Spawn, I mean, you don't really see that during... Well, I guess, rut.
Rut, yeah, it'd be rut.
But
it's no different.
They're more protective instead of you're actually seeking after...
Yeah.
They're not seeking after females. They're just protecting their babies, their eggs.
Right.
And because I'm pretty sure when they're babies, they just eat them.
Pretty much. Minnows. We call those minnows. But yeah, and that's been the biggest thing. And trying to figure out this whole winter stuff. I've never done, like I said, I've never done winter fishing. I mean, I've always been in the summer because it's nice and it's like, hey, buddy's dad has a boat or something. It's like, hey, you want to go out? And I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go. And I mean, heck, if I had to replace all of my tackle in my tackle box, and this is accumulation over 10 years plus, it'd cost me $1,000 just in random things, not just anything. It's just random things, replacing my tackle box, just everything. And you don't realize how much you spend on this stuff until you have it all, and you're like, and that was $5, that was $10, that was $4, that was $2.50. Like, holy smokes!
What was that? Rut Daniel said, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he go broke.
Yeah, you go broke. Yeah. Oh man, that's the worst part. It's like any other hunting, though. I mean, there's always that new thing. You're like, oh man, that'd make it that much easier to do this or whatever. I got into saddle hunting. Terrible decision. Great decision, but terrible decision. I went from buying a sit drag and making a sit drag saddle to modifying my sit drag to actually building it, like actually making a saddle. Then I was using one stick method. Then I went and bought 4 more sticks, and then I bought brand new camo last year. Bought new bows. It's just everything. It adds up. Like it was just time to upgrade stuff, and you're like, I just spent $3,000 in buying things this year because it was time to upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, I hunted with my dad since basically my mom let me get a gun. And I've hunted with him, and he's hunted since he was in his 30s. He kind of got a late start, but I just used all of his hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was using his climber. Now, I did have my own gun, but... Like, I'm using his camo, his old camo, his old boots. Like, I'm using everything that was hand-me-downs. And then about 4 years ago, I did the same thing you did. I just said, I'm over this.
I'm over it.
I'm ready to get some nice stuff. So I just went out and bought a Summit Climber, which I was using an aluminum one that had a plywood seat that had like a 1-inch foam pad. Like, you could sit all day, but you weren't comfortable at all. And
I'll tell you what, though, it sucks being comfortable because you always want to take a nap.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only bad part about being comfortable.
Yeah. And I'm way too cozy in my stand.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I like my naps. Worst part is I got to quit drinking coffee before we go out because I'm wide awake when I'm sitting in the dark waiting for daylight. And then right when daylight hits, like, I'm out. I'm done. It's nap time.
That was this year. This year was that year where we were both like, all right, we're getting up early, we're getting out, we're gone. Sitting in the stand. I never really done this because I didn't really care that much. I've only killed 2 deer, but at the same time, it's like I didn't really care. I went outside. I go out there to be out there and watch everything wake up. And if I shoot a deer, it's a plus. Gotta love it. That's the best part about it for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm no professional on any of my hobbies. I'm below average on like 95% of my hobbies.
Yeah,
and
that's how I am.
And it's probably because I have too many of them that I can never focus on making one.
Yeah.
But
and that's one
I'd rather have a ton of hobbies and suck at all of them, but enjoy going to do them instead of having one and stressing myself out of it.
For sure. And that was the big thing, like, this year, like, you know, me and my cousin went for opening weekend of opening day and the next day for bow season, and I didn't even go out the second morning. No, my cousin did. I went and dropped him off, and I went back and I was like, all right, I'll be back. We didn't have signal where we were, so I went back and picked him up, and then I was like, hey, I want to look at a couple spots, and I found a couple spots that I wanted to go to, and I'm like, and I ended up in between the two spots I wanted to go to and killed a deer. My first kill out of a saddle, my first bow kill, and it was with a recurve, and then my first public land deer all came in an evening hunt that I didn't even hunt the morning before because I had no confidence of anywhere I was going.
Yeah.
It was that's my mentality of hunting. It's like, hey, and then I just sat around the fire all morning and drank coffee and ate breakfast. That was all I did. It was just, you know, outside. We went tent camped. It's October and, you know, basically central Indiana, and it's not the warmest, but it's not cold either. So it was comfortable. It was real nice sitting out around the fire.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone into the tree stand and I've been like, literally sit in the tree stand and you're like, I'm not going to see a thing today. I'd be surprised if I even saw a squirrel.
Yeah.
Like, you just, well, I mean, we need to do a lot better getting down there, scouting, doing, just like you would pre-fish.
Yeah.
I mean, just get down there and walk.
Right.
And find these spots and find good spots. And we're hunting all public land. We don't have any private property.
I got like a 5-acre patch that I hunt because it's literally close to home, and then he hunts behind his house. And that's just we do it because it's close and we don't have to drive an hour to 2 hours away.
We get our fix in doing that.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. I mean, I shot at a buck this year, missed him. And before I picked my bow up, I was like, I'm going to miss this deer. I knew I was going to miss him. It was with my recurve. I was like, I'm going to miss this deer. I knew I was going to miss him. I was like, this deer is not, I'm not even going to hit it with the arrow. And I did. When I released, I flipped my hand out and it went left of the deer because he was kind of quartering away from me and went right over his back, right where I was aiming. I was like, there we go. That's it. So that was kind of it was like, yep, it's no different than sitting there. You get out there and you're like, I ain't seen nothing. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And it's no different than going in and scouting and you're like, nope, there's nothing here. Like, there's nothing. Like, you could see sign all day long, but you're like, they're never coming in here. They're not coming in here. No. This is all a nocturnal movement. Like, you can tell. Like, there's just sometimes, so you have a feeling. And that's the biggest thing I've done is gut hunt the past couple years. And it has changed my hunting 100%. My average of seeing deer has went from 0 to 10 plus a year.
Yeah, I mean we go for weekends. We don't go for full weeks and everything. So you have a very limited time of being in the woods, and that's if you take every opportunity to be in the woods.
One of the longest time we go is opening weekend at gun because we go on a little trip, and it's usually Wednesday evening, and we get down there and basically just set up camp. To Sunday morning, at Sunday midday, and then we leave. That's the longest stretch of like we go out and hunt every day. Right. So it's, you know, we don't go out and be like, all right, this is where we're gonna go, and we're gonna be here for 2 weeks, and you know,
we're know every square inch of this place. And I mean, we should by now.
I mean, you know, the wild part was we walked around a little bit after this year, after we kind of got done, and we walked in spots we've never been, and it's not that big where we go. At all. It's not that big at all.
4,000 acres?
Yeah.
4 to 6,000 acres, something like that.
Yeah.
Which, for opening morning, there was 178 guys that signed the boat.
Yeah. There was almost twice as many as there was last year.
Yeah. I think the whole pandemic really drove people out to kind of get in the outdoors.
It did. And that's probably the one biggest thing that and people have spent so much time with their families now that it's just like,
get out and do something.
Yeah. That and it's brought families back together that were, you know, running around to doing this thing to doing this sport, that sport, this sport, every weekend, every night, this and that. Well, all that stuff got canceled, and everybody's like, now what do we do? Yeah. Well, now you start spending time together. You start having game nights. I could only imagine. I'm pretty sure they didn't have games for like 3 months, like in stores. They sold out.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is awesome. Just for the family units to get back together the way they did.
Right.
That was probably my favorite thing out of all of that.
Yeah, I don't have a family, so I just got a fiance, but no kids yet.
Not yet. That's what the honeymoon's for. Oh man.
Are we gonna edit this thing afterwards?
Some of it. I think we just really cut up. So I don't even know how much we got to cut off.
I was gonna grab. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You ain't wrong. Here, I'll get it.
All right. Yeah, that's a lot easier.
You don't have to move a chair.
Huh?
You don't have to move a chair. I don't have to move a chair.
Ah, perfect.
What do you want?
Give me a gumball.
Oh my.
I got the fancy beer today.
What's wrong?
I don't know if we're gonna keep this with beer in it, but I got the Sun King Killer Haze, which is one of our local main breweries around here.
Yeah, which is
microbreweries, but it's
was was a microbrewery. It was when it first started.
I guarantee they're. I mean, I wouldn't say they're nationwide, but I bet they're pretty big.
They're pretty big. They are,
and they're at least the Midwest.
They're definitely the biggest, I would say, microbrewery in Indiana now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, them Three Floyds.
Yeah, which is Gumball.
Yeah, now we got Gumball Head, which is
Three Floyds.
But
yeah, you know, I got my dad has a friend that his daughter and son-in-law actually own a distillery in Indianapolis.
Oh.
Yeah, and I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna have to ask my dad what it's called. And we might have to get a little bit of it and have a little bit of bourbon on the show.
Yeah, but
It's not bourbon, but a little bit of whiskey because it's not in the bourbon growing places.
So I'm gonna kind of talk about these just
Ooh.
because
Little
they're kind of
swimmies.
talk about all of this.
Oh yeah.
I was lucky because I didn't have the abundance of tackle like you do.
Yeah.
So, and I'm starting out in a kayak, and now he's switching to a kayak, which, in my opinion, you bring out way too much stuff.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. But I spent the money on it.
Right, I get it. But so I'm coming from a good standpoint on a kayak because I'm starting with basically nothing, and
like literally 2 poles.
That were an ultralight and a Zebco.
Yeah.
44.
Yeah,
Or,
that was
404.
Yeah, that was what he started out fishing with, and I'm like, dude, you got like bait casters? Like, you know how to cast this? They're like, he would use my poles. I have 6 now. I didn't when we started fishing and stuff together.
I got 2.
Yeah.
I got 2 bait casters and a spinning reel, which I'd like to get another.
Well, one and a half bait casters.
Yeah. Let's we can talk about we can trash RB Garcia right now because
that is my favorite. But I also haven't bought one in like
it's happened twice.
Yeah.
So they have.
You gotta quit buying the expensive ones.
I know. That's the shit. So they're higher end ones. I have the Revo SX HS, and then I have the Revo SX. I don't remember what the hell that. I don't remember what it is.
It's right there.
Yeah, I got it right here. I got the Johnny Morse. It's just a Revo SX. So I'll show you guys this. This little side right here. It has a quick release, so you can take it apart. I ain't even showing it in here. So you can take it apart, which is cool because you can actually access it. But you can access the other ones. You just have to take a screw out.
Yeah, and it's all you can do all of it with your hand.
Yes.
Because that's all I have is Abu Garcia. I have Pro Maxes, and I have 3 of them. Yeah, I have 3 of them. I have 3 Pro Maxes, and one I've had for probably 13 years, 12 years. It's been a while.
So that's where I kind of got my information on buying these. But that little side plate, I don't know what I do. Maybe it's just me.
It could be, because
I don't know why. But I pushed that little tab to release it, Next cast, the whole half of my reel falls in the water and sinks. And the first time I was like, what the heck? So I was like, well, that just had to have been a fluke thing. Sure enough, I lost that piece of my reel. I was fishing a tournament the next day. Was it? No, it was 2 days later. I couldn't get the part in.
You were pre-fishing, weren't you, or something? Yeah.
I couldn't get the part in time. So I was like, I literally, like, those were my poles. And I just went out to Cabela's and bought another Arby Garcia. And it's a Roxanne? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a nice pole. It's a $200 combo, and it has that same side plate on it. And I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just use it, and I'll have another pole at the end of it.
Right.
Well, sure enough, the end of last season, I casted with that new one that I got, and that side plate fell off and went in the water, and I still haven't replaced it because I'm mad about it.
So I'm wondering, since you put that super glue on there.
Yeah. So I took it apart, and it basically like slides inside around the bearing to open it. And then what the bearing sits in, then you have your brakes all the way around it.
Okay.
And then it sits on the outside, and it basically just like oscillates around it. So it isn't just like a pin, it's a whole circle.
That would make sense why it'd be so easy to hit it and knock it loose.
So I turned the whole circle, put a dab of super glue in it, and then put it all back together and just let it sit. I'll probably never be able to get it open again. I mean, I probably can, but...
Yeah. That's what I was wondering, if you'd be able to get it
I put so little on it that I think... I don't want to force it because it's
together.
It's together. And I don't need to clean it right now. But I think if I had to...
and that's
I could probably pop it loose.
That's one thing that, like... We were listening to a podcast, like, a couple days before we went. We were getting the kayaks, because he just got this kayak. And... we were getting everything kind of ready to go, and him figuring out what he wants on that kayak compared to the other kayak, and what we were trying to do. And I was trying to get the other kayak set up so I could take it out, and it was like, what do we do? He's like, I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
So it was just messing around with it.
Right, but going back to I'm starting from nothing, so I kind of. Like I said, I'm at an advantage because I got this. I bought this Plano. It's 3700 series. It's just a nice little pack. Holds 3 3700s in it, and then it just buckles shut. And it's actually really nice to just have sitting behind the seat of the kayak because it doesn't take up that much space, and I can have my battery, my Yak Attack Black Pack, and this Plano behind the seat of my Bonafide SS127. And then I just on a whim bought this, which all it is like a tackle binder, and I think it has like 13 individual just little pockets in it. And I've actually acquired another one for this Christmas. So right now I got all my jigs, my trailer's moved to this one. I got basically all my jigs, really.
Your jigs are in there? I thought
not mine.
Your Texas rig,
my trailers for
trailers and stuff.
So,
what are you doing, Dexter? She opened the door and she was like, oh. Maybe not.
What you doing?
Dinner.
Making dinner.
Oh, yeah. Good job. Love you.
Love you.
Anyways, I got all my...
Which one is it?
My jigs.
Creature baits.
Creature baits.
Creature baits.
Hey, couldn't think of the word. I got all my creature baits in here. So I got my bandito bugs. I just got my river bugs, and
that's about all you really got, don't you? You got a little bit of Berkeley in there, but you basically got some Bass Pro Tournament stuff, and then a little bit of Guggen Squad.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've never spent that much on. I'm a Zoom guy. And that's what I've fished with for a long time. and I've never been able to catch anything on like creature baits and anything like that. And then the bandito bug is if things aren't biting other stuff, I grab the bandito bug and throw it on there and I catch fish. I have no clue why, but I do. Black with blue flake, that's what I throw. I don't know if it's just the way I work it right with the way it's designed, or I'm just getting lucky. I'm gonna say I'm just getting lucky because I'm not that good of a fisherman by no means.
So I got 2 of those. I got the jigs in this one. Sorry, the creature baits in this one. and the other one, I got my stickos, I got my worms, I got my Ned rigs, I got any type of finesse style stuff. And then I'm probably gonna get another one just because I like them so much. But this is just a little bag that I acquired on a job site, and I got all my trailers for chatterbaits and spinners and all types of stuff in there.
And I like those white, that white with the
blue flake in it. Silver flake.
It's silver flake. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I pair that with my white 3/8 ounce chatterbait, which I don't buy the fancy chatterbaits. This is just the original chatterbait. It's not the Z-Man.
I'll tell you what, man. Those Z-Mans, the Z-Man stuff is so expensive, but it's
you want to know
good
why?
stuff. I like it.
Know why. I mean, the main thing is Z-Man this is the jig head with the eyelet to the blade.
Okay.
So what Z-Man does is they put basically what you have here tying to your string. Yeah. But it's all on a ball bearing and it all spins. So the problem with these, you don't. It'll still react like that. Yeah. But you don't get you don't get this, do you? Well, it's more of like, because you're throwing a chatterbait like you're throwing a jig. You throw it into obstruction. Right. You throw it just like you would throw a jig, over the top of a log, over the top of stumps, and you're just letting it sink. And then you can either crank it in and do it like a swim jig, or you're popping it and you're just letting it fall back down. You're popping it. Well, the problem with these is by the time you pop it, this doesn't get moving until it's already back down. So when you get the high dollar ones, they're worth the money, but I just haven't been able to
until you lose
I haven't been able to pull the string on it. But.
That is one thing we're like, we hate buying expensive stuff to go do things, and it's just, now I say that, and I finally broke down and bought. I didn't even buy expensive camo. I bought better camo than I had, and it was Gander Outdoors Guide Series. And when I bought it, I go...
They went out of business, so they were all on clearance.
Yeah.
I was dumb not to capitalize.
Yeah, you should have. Because they're waterproof, windproof. I got the bibs, I got the jacket, I got the vest, then they have a sweatshirt that's freaking awesome. It's just a really good base layer. It has, it actually has a mask in the hood, like in the thing itself, and it's it's like skin tight. It's like wearing a long sleeve shirt. It's actually really nice. But yeah, that was one thing that I was really glad that I got. And then I got some women's scent lock underlayers. Is what I did.
That's the beautiful thing about camo. If it fits, who cares?
Yeah. My first pair of windproof pants that I had that were insulated for hunting were women's from Walmart.
And if anybody makes fun of you, if you're lucky enough, just point over to your deer and say, "Shut up."
Yeah, I killed it. Doesn't matter. I don't care if it fits. I'm not out there for a fashion show by no means.
No, it's camo.
Yeah.
So who cares? You're literally wearing it to be hidden.
Yeah.
Who cares if it says mossy oak, real tree, scent lock? Who cares?
Yeah. The only reason I got the scent lock is because I was on that Johnny Eberhart, listening to Johnny Eberhart, and if you are dedicated to scent control, like super dedicated, go listen to Johnny Eberhart, and he'll tell you how to do it, and then you have to listen to him on how to actually deer hunt and where the deer are. Then you'll kill monsters. Period. I don't care. if you're going to, and he does it on public land and asked permission property. He doesn't go to leases. He doesn't have that stuff, and he kills monster deer in Michigan. So that's my rant about scent control.
Yeah, I mean, and we went over this with a buddy of ours, which he's hunted with us before, but he's never like gotten into it.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to make him mad, but really like. Last year, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, we really got into like
trying to figure it out.
Learned how to hunt. Yeah. We didn't just go out in the woods and be like, well, we're in the woods, we're going to kill a deer.
Yeah.
No, like, you find spots, you find activity, and then you break down that and get on the highways instead of just a trail. And you find, all right, well, they're bedding over here, so I need to come in from this side so I don't kick up their bedding area and all this stuff. And I just like, my buddy I was like, you just don't know how to hunt. And he would kind of took it the wrong way, but I was like, dude, I didn't know how to hunt.
Yeah.
Last year, I didn't know how to hunt. 3 months ago, I didn't know how to hunt. Yeah. I literally just put in the time, just like the fishing stuff.
Yeah. And that's the big thing.
Time and
that's the biggest thing. And you just gotta. Then, like, I started watching a couple YouTube videos on winter fishing, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I don't understand it, but I get it.
I can't succeed at it.
Yeah,
but I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I'm out here.
That's me. I can go out there and I can fish all day long and never catch a fish. I don't care. Don't care.
I'm out on the water.
Yeah. I'm outside.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think. It just does not fit my fishing style at all.
What, winter fishing?
Yeah, it's so freaking slow, man. It's like
jerk bait.
I'm about to freaking pull my hair out.
Wait, give it a jerk. Wait.
Man, it burns me down. I tried, really did, and I don't have drop shots, and I feel like that's like 90% of the people that successfully winter fish is because they use their live scope, $1,000 drafts, and they literally play a video game with their drop shots. Right. They just watch their lure fall, watch the fish come into the screen, and then you're just like,
it's no different than hunting lease land for deer, in my opinion. It's just it is what it is. I mean, but to be a professional, so you have to have, because if you don't, the other guy does, and he's going to outfish you, and you're never going to make any money. Yeah. Period. It's just how it is.
It's part of the game.
Unfortunately,
literally, the game has always been about how much
the other guy, how much you can
how much
spend.
Advantage you can have over anybody. I mean, the slightest bit.
Man, wouldn't that be cool if they did like 2 tournaments where they did, or like even 1 tournament, be like, hey,
you get nothing.
You get nothing. Go fish, have fun. Yeah. Like, and on a new body of water they've never done a tournament on, nothing. Just like, here's where we're going. You have a week to pre-fish, and then we're gonna start fishing. That would probably be one of the like coolest things to go watch. Not even go watch, just like watch it on TV.
KVD would probably still kick everybody's ass.
I don't know, man. You got freaking Jacob Wheeler. Jacob Wheeler's a stud.
Yeah, I can.
What's that other guy? I can't think of his name. Another guy that him and what is his name? Dustin. Is it Dustin? No, I got nothing on him. Yeah. But Jacob Wheeler's from Indiana. That's kind of the cool part about it. Yeah, he grew up fishing Geist. What's up north? What's that one? Morris, and then can't remember. There was another one he fished that was around here.
Around here, not Monroe.
It might have been Monroe,
probably.
But
those are our really 3 main central lakes that we can get to within an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, Geist is our closest for sure, but it's
just
Geist.
Too busy.
Yeah,
on
it's super.
And then Morris is, I would say, is as busy, but it feels 10 times more busy because it's narrow.
Yeah, it's super narrow.
And it's choppy. Bad. But it's deep. Geist is only really like, I mean, you get over by the dam, you're looking at like 30 foot.
Mm-hmm. There's some deep channels that do come through there, but
the majority of the lake is
channel.
10 foot, 15 foot deep.
Yeah.
15 if the water's up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's just a reservoir, but it's kind of a nasty lake in my opinion.
Well, I think it's just because it's so shallow. I mean, they did have Fishers had the sewage spill.
Yeah.
So there was that too.
Yeah, you're wrong about that.
But we're sitting at like 45 minutes.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how fast that goes?
Now I understand when they're like, oh, it's going to be a 30-minute video.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're sitting at like an hour, so
Yeah.
we should probably sign off.
I know. And that was a big thing for us. We just being the first podcast and first time we've ever done anything like this. It was like, what are we going to talk about?
Well, I feel like we should do some type of like an intro now.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to go back and edit it because we did nothing. We just.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going to know like anything. They're just going to be like, oh, they just started talking.
What just happened?
What am I listening to? What's this? Like, I don't even know how to title this one.
Yeah.
But.
This is just, I think that's the kind of the fun part about it. And it's not going to just be fishing.
No, we're going to try to keep everything just.
Heck, you never
we can
know.
talk about.
We might end up talking about disc golf one day.
I was just about to say.
We might go play disc golf for a couple days, and then we're like just talking about disc golf and trying to, just because it's, we go do those things together.
We should like name it an Enjoy the Outdoors podcast.
I wouldn't mind that. That's not bad.
It's nice, subtle.
Yeah.
I mean, because that really leaves us with endless opportunities.
Yeah.
Literally anything but.
Yeah, but somebody's gonna go on there and be like, man, they've been talking about fishing. You need to go listen to these guys, and then it's like, dude, they talked about disc golf. What are you freaking listening to?
Well, let me tell you, we live in Indiana, so it's gonna be seasonal.
For
winter,
sure.
Anytime after October, we're probably gonna be talking about hunting.
Yeah.
Anytime
I just started duck hunting, waterfowl hunting, so I don't
even know what that crazy schedule is. That's all.
Right. Well, I think it starts in like September. So that's my thing. I didn't start until after deer season started. So I started in big duck season, and so I'm still I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. I know that I spent money on it. And that's about it. Yeah.
Into this sport.
Yeah, I've invested into this other line of hunting, and my wife tells me I need to pick 2 kinds of hunting because I coon hunt too. So that's another expensive hunting hobby.
We got 4 dogs.
I got 4 dogs.
I'm into. I have a golden retriever. He's a year and a half old, and I'm trying to get him into shed hunting. So I might be talking about some shed hunting and trying to really figure, because I've never done it before. I've never even found a shed myself, let alone use a dog.
I don't think I've ever seen a shed in the woods.
So
I found elk bones before, but that was that was a freak thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna probably be talking about that here in
as soon as it warms up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it starts basically like Wisconsin's like hot and heavy right now, but they're 30 degrees cooler than us.
True.
They're dropping early.
I seen a buck today over off of 600. He was big bodied deer, not a real big rat, but I mean it was just a deer.
The main thing is like I follow a ton of Facebook pages, and I follow like As They Lay and shed hunting addicts and stuff like that. And like I just gotta sit there and watch, because I don't have the cameras out. Like that's really what people shed hunt. They have cameras and they have property, and they put their cameras out and they're like, we gotta go. We gotta go find him. So they're like all about that, but I don't have that. So I'm just kind of like,
I got
Indiana. All right. They found one. I need to go.
We're going. So I got a buddy that owns some property down by Brookville. I might talk to him and see if he's got anything on his cameras, if he still has cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what he's got on it. I just want to know if they're
still on. What I'm saying. Yeah. If they're still on or not, that would be kind of a neat thing. But I don't know if he had what kind of cameras he has or not. So, but he, I'll just started doing taxidermy this year, so I have to do some of that.
I would say for me, I'll be hunting, deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Shed hunting, fishing, the occasional golf.
Yeah.
Really just kayaking.
Yeah.
I mean,
getting out. We're gonna try to do some kayak camping this year.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some river camping. So, and that brings us to another thing: camping, just in general.
Yeah.
I got a 26-foot camper. We go camping quite a bit. Try to get out as much as we can.
Yeah. And then me and my dad go backpacking. We got, we started hammock camping and everything like that. So that's going to be another thing probably talk about. I got some friends that I got a guy that I know that got me into coon hunting, and then he used to guide duck hunt. So we'll have something like that. We'll have some people on, do stuff like that. Have them talk about some stuff or whatever. And and I got another guy that grew up in Indiana. That waterfowl hunting in Indiana. Maybe he'll come and talk to us. It just lives right down the road, 10 minutes. Just stuff like that. We'll just whatever we feel like doing. If we can talk to somebody, and heck, it could be fishing one week, and then who knows, next week or whatever.
I mean, we got a bunch of people. I got a bunch of buddies that turkey hunt. Like, I've never turkey hunted. I've never even gone.
I've went like 3 times, and I thought it was awful.
It would be pretty cool to get them on here and kind of like pick their brain about
turkey hunting. Yeah, because I want to do a little bit this spring.
What do you do? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're kind of just gonna talk about everything. Try to get probably every week. I mean,
week to 2 weeks, depending on what we get into. Like, I was supposed to go duck hunting this morning, and I couldn't fall asleep until 2 o'clock, and I was going to wake up at 4 o'clock and go duck hunting.
Shouldn't have went to sleep.
I was debating it, and then I accidentally fell asleep. And I was like, that sucks. So, but that's just how it goes. But I'm going in the morning. I'm going to go in the morning. We're going to go walk a couple ditches, and Phil and a friend of his, Bill, we're going to go walk a couple ditches over there by his old house and see if we can shoot Daffy. Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
We need to get a sign off. I think we're about to that point.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
We're going to run out of content for the next one.
Yeah, for this one.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Have to...
Yeah, I don't know about that. I didn't even think about it. Good old sign off.
Yeah, we need a good one. I mean, I know a good fishing one, but it's gonna be more broad than that. So
I don't know.
I was gonna if we did just a strictly fishing one, I was gonna say get out there and yank some lunkers. We'll see you next time.
I like that.
But I don't know about just outdoors.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know, man. We should. And as dumb as this sounds, we should probably just figure out whatever we talk about that day, and just figure out what it'd be like. Yeah, go throw you some discs and some chains, and we'll see you next time. Or something stupid,
Get out there and bust some chains. We'll see you
there
next
you go.
time.
Yeah. Oh man, go hit a slice. And we'll see you next time. Just stuff like that. Just goofy stuff. Catchy, goofy stuff.
Never pass up a free golf ball on the golf course.
Yeah, ain't wrong.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, you'll need that. I don't care how many you buy, you're gonna need another one. You always gotta have that Happy Gilmore or that, hey, I'm gonna whale on this one golf ball.
I would say a good one. I mean, we talked about fishing quite a bit on this.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, say keep your tackle light and your fish big. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.